Once upon a time, nestled in the quiet folds of England's Lake District, there was a wooded lake called Owl Island. It was a place of still waters and rustling trees, and at the very heart of the island lived an old and mysterious owl named Old Brown. He was wise, solitary, and didn't take kindly to nonsense. On the shores of the lake, in the thick woods beyond the reeds and ferns, lived a lively band of red squirrels. Among them was a cheeky little fellow named Nutkin. He had a bushy tail, bright eyes, and more curiosity than caution. While most squirrels were busy storing nuts for the winter, Nutkin was often singing silly rhymes or playing tricks. One crisp autumn morning, Nutkin and his squirrel companions decided to visit Owl Island to gather nuts. The oak trees there were heavy with acorns, but they all knew Owl Island belonged to Old Brown, and one could not just help oneself without offering a gift in return. So, the squirrels piled into little twig rafts and paddled across the lake with great care. Each squirrel brought a gift for Old Brown: fat mice, beetles, and honeycomb. They presented these offerings with polite bows and quiet voices, all except Nutkin. Instead of presenting a gift, Nutkin danced on the shore, waving his tail and singing, "Old Mr. B, riddle me ree, hitty-pitty within the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" The other squirrels were horrified. Old Brown opened one eye, glared at Nutkin, and then went back to sleep. Nutkin scampered off, quite pleased with himself. Day after day, the squirrels returned, each time bringing new offerings, fish, eggs, and even a little sack of corn. And each day, Nutkin came too. But instead of being respectful, he made riddles, danced jigs, and poked fun at the old owl. "Old Mr. B, riddle me ree, flammity flummity out goes he." Old Brown tolerated it for a while. On the 6th day, Nutkin went too far. He pranced right up to Old Brown and sang a riddle about an owl himself. A house full, a hole full, yet you cannot catch a bowl full. Old Brown stared at Nutkin with both eyes this time. Slowly he stood up, stretched his wings, and without a word, reached out and grabbed Nutkin by the tail. There was chaos in the woods, the other squirrels scattered, dropping their gifts and climbing trees. Nutkin wriggled and kicked, trying to escape. Old Brown was not amused. He meant to teach Nutkin a lesson. With a strong grip and a stern gaze, he brought Nutkin close and said nothing. But Nutkin, in a panic, twisted and turned so furiously that snap, his tail broke free and he tumbled out of Old Brown's grasp. Nutkin ran and ran through brambles and thickets, his once fluffy tail now a stub. He didn't stop until he reached the far side of the lake, where the trees whispered and the breeze sighed through the leaves. From that day on, Nutkin was never the same. He didn't sing riddles anymore, he didn't play tricks or tease. In fact, he grew rather quiet and watchful. Some say he lost his tail, others say he lost his nerve. The other squirrels still visited Owl Island every autumn, always bringing gifts and showing respect. But Nutkin? He stayed behind, twitching his little stub of a tail, watching the lake in silence. And though he never told the tale himself, the other animals would often whisper, "That's the price of poking fun at Old Brown." The moral of the story teaches us that even the cleverest riddler should know when to stop. Mischief is fine in small doses, but when it becomes mockery, it may cost more than you bargained for.